gonna make breakfast with my heels on.
Hey, my name is Stephanie. I am a fit model athlete, a certified personal trainer, and a breast cancer survivor. And welcome to my YouTube channel. I am here to share bits about my health past, where I'm currently headed with bodybuilding prep and education on cancer care and nutrition and corrective exercise and all of that fun stuff. And I just want to create a space for people to share their stories. And I am here to help inspire, provide hope, and to help people build up routines that allow them to find that strength and confidence once again after going through some sort of hardship. So hit subscribe, hit like, share this with a friend, and keep showing up. I appreciate you already so much. Thanks.
So breakfast, I usually try and wait way later than this, but my team meetings are short and sweet today. Usually it gets me to about 9 a.m., but it is only about 10 to 8, but I am hungry. My calories are relatively low, so I'm just gonna have my breakfast now and space out my meals a little bit more throughout today. Today is a non-training day. However, I did do fasted cardio this morning prior to work, and I will, after book club today, do my HIIT cardio as well and get that over with today. So, really, what I get for meal one is an egg whites, and veg. So there we go. I'm just gonna grab those items out of the fridge and show you what I'm working with. So, I'm thinking zucchini and mushroom for my veg of choice. And then some other things that I do to zhuzh up my breakfast is I add cilantro, hot sauce, and lime. And then of course salt and pepper, some tahini seasonings, some other seasonings and that sort of thing as well. And I do add some water to the pan so I don't burn everything, but I also use a non-stick pan. I know people say don't do that, but for the sake of this short prep, I'm using a non-stick pan and I will survive. So there you go. I'm gonna drag you over this side, I think. And I am just clopping around in my heels here, so don't mind me. I do weigh everything, of course. I got my little food scale here. So I get 100 grams of veg. I do like to try and make my meals as voluminous as possible. So I do find these vegetables of choice are pretty good for me. So I rotate between, at this point, cucumber, bell pepper, red, orange, and yellow. Mushrooms, I typically just choose cremini or white, and zucchini and spinach. And I just use frozen spinach, and every vegetable that I eat other than the cucumber is cooked just for easier digestion as well. So that's 72 grams of mushroom, and then I'll round it up to 100, bam, with the zucchini. So that's the veg. I'll chop that up nice and small, get that on the pan with the egg and egg white, zhuzh it up with some seasoning, and that's meal one. And I'll eat it nice and slow with a little fork and take it from there. So yeah, exciting times. I do try and I don't know, like romanticize, I suppose, my meals. Like I do try to make them pretty and make them, like I said, as voluminous as possible and as appetizing to me as possible by using certain herbs and spices that I just adore. Like with my eggs, I like tahini. It's got that limey flavor, and then I add some heat with the hot sauce, and I mix between the green pepper and like a regular red hot sauce from Cholula. Actually, I think it's like a hot lime. So lime is the flavor of this prep. Shout out to lime. And I will also squeeze fresh lime on like every savory meal that I have. So other than that, I really like basil, cumin, paprika, chili flakes, salt and pepper, of course. What else do I use? I think that's pretty well it for the most part. Some turmeric here and there. Garam masala on my cod. Very random. I'm just experimenting with all of the different herbs and spices. Oh, even like dill I'll add to the cod if I have some capers, but I've used those all up. I've used up all my salsa, all my capers, and I'm keeping things super simple. So really what you see here is what I'll be using for the last 2 weeks of prep. I'll show you the final result in a second. Okay, here we go. Final product. So that's a decent sized bowl, right? So I'm going to enjoy this while I continue working. And one thing I will say about eating my meals, I am super fortunate to work from home. So I find me not having to just batch everything perfectly, already 100% meal prepped and in the fridge, actually makes eating last longer and feel more enjoyable. I know not everyone has the luxury of doing that and making every meal every time from scratch. The few things that I do prep are rice in the rice cooker, chicken in the air fryer, and I do pre-chop some of my vegetables, but for the most part, like, I enjoy the weighing and the chopping and the cooking and the just adding my own spices and herbs and letting things simmer and enjoying that cooking process so that I'm not just grabbing something out of the fridge and frantically eating it in 3 seconds. It kind of forces me to slow down. And then another tip, I will say, I always clean up before I actually start eating. So huge for me to just kind of, slow down my mind and make sure I'm eating peacefully and appreciating my meal, especially because it is small and low calorie. But and then you also don't burn your mouth, so win-win. Alrighty, so it is meal number 2 of 5. It's my cod avocado veg meal. I pretty well have 0 carbs in my day other than 3 rice cakes. The carbs that I do have, let me clarify, are just from a bit of fruit, some berries, and non-starchy veg. That's the point we're at. So I will not lie, the banana bread that I made Sam yesterday, very tempting. But we're grinding, we're almost there. I'm gonna heat up the pan, measure out my veg, chop that up, and then I'll show you the final result. Yeah. I might not have quite enough fish, so if I have to cook some more later, but if I ever run out while I'm like eating a meal, because it's usually just protein, I'll just add more yogurt to my evening, my final meal, Greek yogurt. So if I run out of cod or if my shrimp doesn't weigh out perfectly, I just add a bit of Greek yogurt at the end of my meal. So zhuzh around the ratios. I'm still eating the same things. I'm still eating like the 5 meals, but that's my workaround to not overcomplicate or over stress on the minute details. I'd say it's still pretty dang consistent, all things considered. Is it perfect 100%? Are some other bodybuilders probably going to crush it to the gram, to the perfect meal plan? Yeah, sure. But this is my first go. This is what is keeping me sane and happy and enjoying the process. So yeah, if this cod is not 100 grams, I'll just have some more plain Greek yogurt later. So, talk to you in a bit.
There you go. It's actually so tasty. I use garam masala sprinkled on top while cooking. Just added some water to the pan, salt and pepper, and lime, and a tiny bit of tahini. So sounds like such an odd combo because garam masala is like cumin, and then you've got like the cinnamon and nutmeg, and then you add like the lime from the tahini, but I don't know, it tastes really good. It mixes well together. It's kind of like cozy but zippy. And yeah, that's cod. So it doesn't have to be boring. Mix up your veg, mash it all together with some awesome flavorful herbs and spices, and voila, bon appetit. Oh yeah, I wanted to insert this clip as well as part of my journey because I believe in being totally transparent, especially when I post like glam videos with my makeup fully done. This is bare face with just some sunscreen on and lip gloss. However, you may have noticed that my lips are a little different. I did get filler. I am whitening my teeth. I will be getting lash extensions. I've been tanning. I'm about to get hair extensions and probably retone my hair. And I even got some Botox. Usually when I smile, I get a huge line that curves down here. So just a little bit. Usually my lines are deeper here. Usually have even more lines here. So I just did a subtle amount. Shout out to my girl. But yeah, so I'm thrilled. For 10 years, I remember vividly working at Tommy Gunn's, being a barber 10 years ago, talking with my coworkers about lip fillers. And back then it wasn't really a huge common thing. But I remember talking about one day I would like to do my lips. It's always been a big insecurity of mine, especially from the side. I have a very prominent, strong nose. I have a very far back hairline and like a relatively weak jaw and tiny chin, right? So from my profile, I am insecure. I do not really like seeing myself at that angle, and that's okay. But I think just adding a little bit of shape and dimension out this way is helping me appreciate my features a little bit more. So it's subtle. I don't think unless I really pointed it out or like plumped up my lips and told people about it that they'd really notice. Obviously right now I have gloss on, so it kind of emphasizes the little lip flip and shadow and that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm still me. I still have wrinkles and crinkles. I have the darkest eye bags, veins, freckles and sunspots. Like, look at that hairline. I ain't blessed there. But yeah, I just want to be transparent because I think so many people look at social media and they only see, I'm sure you hear it all the time, but the highlights, right? And all of the beauty and glamour shots, but that is just not reality. I usually be looking like I got 1,000 clogged pores and pimples and scars, and it is what it is, folks. And you can see how shiny my eyebrows are. It's because I had them tattooed years ago, because naturally I got nothing. I got nothing on the lashes. I got nothing here. These are all fake hair strokes. There's a few real hairs in there, but we're all human. It's fine. Like, I have insecurities about the lines on my neck. I have dents from my implants and scars from my surgeries. Like, we're all human, folks. It's okay. And it's okay if you want to touch up and change yourself a little bit as well. Just think on it, right? I thought for 10 years on my lips, and I'm really happy. Like, I really feel that much more confident in myself, just that little touch up. I'm not going extreme. I'm not going 0 to 100. I'm just doing little things for me. I'm 35. I'll be 36 in September. And don't rush your decisions, but if it ultimately is going to make you feel happier and you're not hurting anyone and you know the risks, the pros and cons, do you, boo. Public service announcement out.
Oh yeah, I'm midway through making this meal, and I just wanted to say, frozen avocado chunks. The easiest thing to weigh out. You can like pluck out the perfect chunks to equal the amount of grams that you need. So easy. Nothing goes brown and rotten. You're not overspending on avocado that you're gonna throw in the trash. Life hack. Also, spinach, same thing. I just use a lot of other veg and I top up with a few grams of spinach. I don't want to eat like a whole cup of it, and I freeze it. So I buy like the fresh, I just throw it in the fridge and then I crush it up and sprinkle it. And again, I can weigh it to the gram, sprinkle a little bit in there to complement some of the other vegetables of choice at this point in time. And I think those are my two biggest hacks for sure. The other thing is I was using cauliflower rice. This one's really good just to voluminize your meals, especially if you only get like 50 grams of rice. This could be your vegetable and then it feels like you're eating more. I've taken that out since then. And then these tiny little wild blueberries. They're itty bitty. You've probably seen them in my Instagram photos if you follow me there. But you get so many more. So mentally, like when 50 grams of these little guys, it's a decent little cup and you can eat them with a baby spoon. And it just psychologically feels like you're eating more. And it goes a long way in spreading out in your yogurt or your cream of rice bowls or whatever you're allowed to have, right? So, needless to say, my freezer is quite jam-packed. So it's got all my frozen fish and shrimp, chicken, and then it's got all of these frozen veg and avocado, and that has been a game changer, very easy for me.
There you go. We are now 2 weeks out from my first ever Fit Model show. Here's a few little photo snippets from the week. Lots of workouts and walks and coffees and meals on repeat. It's nothing too exciting. I'm home most of the time. I get out and socialize at least once a week with friends or family, but it's been pretty quiet. I am on that grind and lots of changes to come over the next week or two. So definitely be sure to subscribe so you can follow along and see what P Week and Show Day looks like for a first timer in the fit model division. Thanks for watching.